Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Where is everybody?
Oh, they'll be here.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
Carolee, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
You look good. I'm glad to see your smiling face.
Thank you, Jane. I appreciate it. Yeah, I feel normal and fine.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so relieved.
Oh,
I've
thank you.
been worrying about you.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, it was 2 months I don't want to repeat.
I don't
Yeah,
blame you.
really, Carolee. We missed you so much.
Oh,
Yes.
Really.
I appreciate that. Oh, you have no idea how much I missed you.
Oh, my sister went through that same
Re-
thing in Italy about 3 years ago.
Really?
Hideous. It was hideous.
Mm.
We thought we'd lose her. We were really scared.
Oh, yeah. Jana was the same way. In fact, there was one day when that's how I felt.
Yeah,
That's exactly how I felt.
yeah. At one point, Louise said, I can't deal with this. This is just like too much. And he said, well, hang on there. You can't have it last forever, you know.
Evidently, it's not as uncommon as I thought, and especially in rehab places or
Oh
assistance.
my gosh.
Yes, it's
Yeek.
It-
Boy,
really too bad.
makes you want to go out and buy hand sanitizer immediately. Although we probably have some left over from the pandemic. Oh, hi, Carl. We missed you.
Hi, Carol.
Jane, how fun. Oh, and oh, yay. Welcome, Rabbi. Oh,
Hello, Shabbat
Welcome,
Shalom.
Rabbi.
oh, how great to see you. When did you get in? Or did you get in? Are you here now?
Yes, I'm here. How are you
Oh,
doing? Nice to be with you.
well, well,
How, Carolee?
Hi, nice to see you.
I'm happy to see you.
Glad you're on Zoom with us.
unfortunately, you landed in the middle of the oven,
Yeah.
but eventually it actually cools off here. Oh, well,
I don't think you've experienced the oven yet. She's not in Riverside yet.
oh,
I'm not. I'm in Brazil.
Yeah.
I would delay as long as you could until the weather breaks. It's been pretty brutal here.
Tuesday, the weather is supposed to be cooler on Tuesday.
Really? Yeah.
That's what I read.
Well, so far our dogs are not moving away from the air conditioning. Oh, and well, we're really excited about you coming.
Yes.
Thank you, Christine.
Yeah.
I
Actually,
hope to
we're all
see
pretty
everybody in
excited about
person
maybe
next
having a
Shabbat.
study.
I hope to see everybody in person in the shul next Shabbat.
That would be great. That would be wonderful.
Yes.
Hey, Jory, how are you doing? Jory,
I'm doing okay.
okay.
Just had so much to do today. I'm tired, so I decided to join on Zoom. But I'll be there next week.
Well, the weather will take it out of you.
Yeah.
This weather is awful.
Well, I went to urgent care a couple days ago just because I was worried about getting dehydrated. And they said, yes, you're dehydrated. Good one, Christine. I didn't faint dead away, but they gave me some saline and I was fine. Yeah. But you really,
Welcome to you, Rabbi. I was out in the heat today, absolutely worn out. And I was thinking, there's a saying, mad dogs and men go out.
Hello, is this, hello, I guess it is working. Can you hear me? No, I think it needs to be a little bit louder. Hi.
Did you hear?
Hello, is this louder? A little louder than that. Hello? Hi. Is this loud enough? No, it's not loud enough. Well, we're not starting it. We're just, okay, that's better, I think. It's a little echoey, but. Last time I was here, the beginning of the service was silent. I mean, for people on Zoom or whatever. Yours is off.
What's that?
It was off. Yours is off.
I know it's on.
Okay.
I turned it on. Copy your screen.
Okay, maybe we'll get started. Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's really nice to be here. Thank you all for coming. I want to offer a special thanks to Jose Medina, our former state legislator, who happens to be running for supervisor as well. Nice to have you here with us. We're going to start with a song about peace. It's Sim Shalom, which normally we do on Saturday morning, but it seemed like after the week we've had, it's something that we really want to kind of pray for and think about. So page 258 if you have the fat book, and 140 if you have the thin book.
Shalom, Tova, Uvracha, Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha, Sim Shalom. What's the matter? Who can't hear anything?
I think we're saying they can't hear it.
Can't hear? Do we need more volume on me? I know my guitar is up, so. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha, Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha, Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Aleinu Be'al Kol Yisrael, Aleinu Be'al Kol Yisrael, Amecha Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha, Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha.
In honor of the 6 hostages who were murdered a week ago, I'd like to read this prayer by Alden Solovey called If My Tears Had Names. If my tears had names, they would be Hirsch, Naama, Kafir, Ariel, Shiri, Eden, Carmel, Almog, Alex, Ori. Every hostage dead, alive, murdered, still captive. Every one of the hundreds stolen from their lives that awful day. If my tears had names, they would be Zahava, Ze'ev, Libby, Dan, Noam, Yael. Everyone murdered that awful day. The assaulted, the raped, the maimed, those left bleeding to die. If my tears had names, they would be Amichi, Shay, Idan, Roi, Tal, Ido, Yuval, Gal, Omer, Ziv, each one of the defenders of Israel, the injured and the fallen, who died protecting the land on that awful day and the days that followed. O silent heaven, how many times must we name our tears before you? How many tears must we cry for every innocent killed, for every life cut off, for the dead and the wounded, every innocent heart and soul before our voices are heard on high? If my tears had names, they would be sorrow and loss, grief and despair, Dry these tears with hope and love, Holy One. Dry them with liberation for the captives and peace for all. So as we face a very difficult time for Jews, for Israel, we can't give up hope. And let's look at the Shabbat candles as a symbol of the hope that we continue to have. And, you know, we've been here before and we've been okay. So, Ruth, would you like to light the candles for us? No, you wouldn't? Really? Okay. Susie? Yeah, you. Page 120 in the big book and 2 in the little one.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Oh.
And while Susie is, okay.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahalik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
This is a prayer by Hannah Yerushalmi called Flames. May the Shabbat candles remind us that the tender fire inside of us is ever stronger than the flames ablaze around us. We were supposed to do a welcoming ceremony tonight for the Deason family. They're changing their names to Deason, Thomas and Hannah and their kids. And unfortunately, Hannah has COVID, and therefore it's going to be done when Rabbi Gershon is here at some point. So sorry that we can't do that today. I did go to the mikvah with Hannah and her kids. Okay, 4 years into this. Why can't we get these things to work? Jordan, no. Okay, I'm going to scream into the mic. Can you hear me now? Okay. I don't know if you heard anything I said. The family we were going to welcome is not here. Okay. You still can't hear me? Okay, some people are going like this. What? Is there no way to make this louder? She went to check. Okay. I'll just yell. That would be nice. Well, it's cozier when you're close. Okay, Jordan, please. There's ideals and there's reality, you know. Okay. Anyhow, Hannah really loves the way Jordan does L'Chadodi, so he prepared it for tonight. And of course, I don't even know if they're watching from far away because she was really not feeling well, but if you're there, this is for you, Hannah. L'Chadodi is page 138 and 20.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבל la 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 lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה lecha lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל עם יחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתחילה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו וניחא כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך מלוכה קומי צאי תוך ההפכה רב לך שבט במחבכה והוא יחמול עלייכם לה 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני פני שבת נקבלה. Okay. Turn it down.
So this is a prayer by, can you hear me? Okay, otherwise I'll have to switch with him. This is a prayer about Shabbat by Trisha Arlen. It's called If I Let It. It grows dark. I light 2 candles and drink a sip of wine. And the world changes for one day if I let it. There will be music and friendship and food if I allow it. There will be Torah and wisdom and godness if I permit it. There will be quiet and napping and deep rest if I open up to it. There will be study and expansion and new ideas if I consent to it. There will be prayer and blessings and meditation if I give in to it. There will be hope and renewal and clarity if I walk toward it. If I let it, if I allow it, if I permit it, if I open up to it, if I consent to it, if I give in to it, if I walk toward it. The world changes for one day. Shabbat happens if I let it. We continue with the Hatzi Kaddish, which is page 263 and 145. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach ichutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv ve'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach Le'alam ulal me'al maya Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Vishtabach, Vitpar, Vitromam, Vitnase, Vithadar, Vitale, Vithalal, Shemei Kudisha, Barichu, Le'ela, Min Kol Birchata, Veshirata, Tushbechata, Venechemata, Dami, Ran Be'alma, Be'imru, Amen. And we continue with a Baruch Hu on the next page. Please rise. Please be seated. And the first blessing before the Shema is a blessing about creation. We acknowledge that God created the world, and this is another piece by Tricia Arlen. It's called A Blessing of Creation in a Time of Loss, Confusion, Fear, and Anger. Blessed fierce mystery. In a time of loss, confusion, fear, and anger, we choose to pray the Birkat Yotzer, the blessing of creation. Praise the Creator, created, creating. We praise the Creator of lightness and darkness, together in the oneness. And we look for the gateways between these qualities so that we may see and understand in all directions with complexity and compassion. We praise the stories that are created, our myths, our science, our history, our art, our rituals, and we look to them for comfort and purpose and meaning so that we may construct the paths of holiness and truth. We praise all those who are creating strategies and solutions against hate and stupidity, and we look for hope on a regular basis so that something old, destroyed, may become something new, invented. Praise the Creator, created, creating. Blessed, blessed, blessing. Amen. The second blessing is a blessing about the revelation of Torah that God bestowed upon us through love. Ahavat Olam, page 266 and 148.
Torah u'mitzvot, u'kimu Matim Otanu le madata Otanu le madata Hakain Adonai Eloheinu b'shokvenu v'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismak b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam ba'ed Hihem kayenu v'horech yameinu Uvahem negeyo mam v'layla, negeyo mam v'layla. Ma'avatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Ohev amo Yisrael.
So the Shema we're going to do tonight, did everybody get handouts from in front? Yes, good. So this was written by a young woman named Anna Brooks, who was, I think, 15 or 16 when she wrote it, from one of our Reform congregations in Michigan. And I just happened upon it one day, a couple of years ago, and it's really nice. So it contains a Shema, but there's some other words, so if you can follow along, please rise.
Sorry.
Okay, while you're doing that, can
I'm
we just
done,
see?
done.
You're
Last-
done? I
last-
want to see if we can
last
hear
one.
Carol Lee. Can you, Carol Lee, can you unmute and see if we can hear you for the Ve'ahavta?
Okay, can
Nope.
you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear
Okay. Any way to get Carol Lee in?
Sign language? This is what she's signing. She looks like she's signing.
Sorry, Carol Lee, we can't hear you. Okay, we'll have to do it in another way.
I won't tell you that he loves me. I won't tell you that he saved my life. But I can say as loud and clear as I can sing from my lips to your ears that there's one of our God in every one of our lives. And that's why we sing Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Oh, and that's why we sing Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And that's why we sing. I won't tell you that he controls my life. I won't tell you that to have his love would be my everlasting plight, but I can say as loud and clear as I can sing from my lips to your ears that there's one of our God, our Ner Tamid, our everlasting light. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And that's why we sing Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And that's why we sing.
Be seated, and the Ve'ahavta is page 268 and 150. Please join me. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha al levavecha v'dibantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot bein einecha, urtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru, ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lahem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. It's interesting, you probably know, most of you, that this is not the entire Shema. There's a paragraph that was taken out by the Reform movement. And it's a paragraph from Deuteronomy from our Torah portion a couple weeks ago that basically says, if you obey my commandments, all will be well, it'll rain, you'll have food, you'll be happy, you'll prosper. And if you don't, the sky's going to dry up and you are going to starve to death. And of course, the Reform movement in its early days was very rational and, oh my God, what a horrible theology. But if you think about it, given the heat of today, it's about if you don't respect the earth, which is part of God's commandments, you burn up the earth. So, there is another way to understand that paragraph, and it's too bad that, in their wisdom 20 years ago when they did this new prayer book, they decided still not ready for it, but it is in the High Holiday prayer book. Consistency is not part of what we do in Judaism or in the Reform movement. Although, frankly, the conservative movement usually has 3 opinions for every legal issue, okay? And they follow whichever one they believe in. So this is called To Run Away, and this is a new collection of poems that are amazing. It's called Shiva, and it's poems that were written since October 7th by Israelis and translated by Rachel Korazim and a couple of other people. And it's really a beautiful book. I recommend it. It's called To Run Away, and it's by Elchanan Nir. The Torah, the scrolls, the prayer, the words, the novel, the poems, everything, we would throw them away in an instant if only your rage would come to rest. Everything to the fire, everything right now. The wedding albums, the china plates edged with silver from Grandma, the simple drawings of houses from Dinah's kindergarten, all with a red roof and no floor. We have no time left. They are coming. We can hear their power. They've breached everything. The fences, the wall, the towers. They desecrated the oil. Tell us when you are coming. Quickly, be stronger. Everything is going up in smoke. Look, We are here. We have nowhere else to run, which is amazing when you think about the Michamocha, which is our next prayer. It's the song that was sung when the Israelites were leaving Egypt, and they had the Egyptian army after them and the water in front of them. And they were able to pass through on dry land and sing God's praises in amazement. So our story keeps repeating itself for some reason. Page 270 and 152.
Oh, mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai. Oh, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Oh, nora tehilot, oh, sefele. Oh, nora tehilot, oh, sefele. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, these songs of freedom. Machutecha ra'u benecha. Yam lifnei Moshe Hosei Anu v'amru Adonai yimloch leolam ba'ed. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, these songs of freedom, redemption song.
So our Torah portion this week is Shoftim, and the rules of law, the rules of war are included in our Torah portion. Things like you shall not cut down fruit trees, and that kings should spend their time writing a Torah scroll. Rick Lupert captures these laws in Shoftim in the following poem. It's called Shoftim, a septuplet of haiku. 1, worship an idol, be put to death. These are the laws of our people. 2, a king shall write 2 Torah scrolls in his life. No mention of queen. 3, priests get no land but unlimited free meat and God their inheritance. 4, no sorcerers or mediums, in other words, no Coney Islands. 5, only the prophets speak for God. The murderers get their own cities. 6, let's all build houses and get married. Then no one has to go to war. 7, may I suggest we treat all people like we're told to treat the fruit trees. Now, Rabbi Gershon wanted to say a few words. That is our new rabbi coming here in a couple of weeks. Let us see if we can get this to work. Rabbi Gershon, are you unmuted?
Shabbat Shalom, my dear Rabbi.
Are you speaking?
Do you hear me? Yes, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yep, he's speaking and we can't hear a word.
Yes. I'm here.
Oh, that's a good idea. Do you have his phone number? Oh, we're going to call him in. And let me turn off the light. He's got his phone ready. No.
Rabbi, unmute.
Workarounds, what can I say?
Unmute, Rabbi.
I'm not
And
mute.
put it next to the mic, right.
I'm speaking.
No,
He's not answering his phone.
did he hear? We're calling you,
I'm
Gershon. Yes. Is it ringing?
Okay, I call you. I call you.
Unavailable.
Looks like he is.
This is called,
Technology, we love it.
it's called Synagogue, the sitcom.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. That never happened in the desert. Are you calling me? Is he calling you or is he
Okay.
calling me?
You know what? I haven't.
Are you calling me, Rabbi? Jason,
Oh,
he's calling you.
My phone was on Do Not Disturb. Are you there? Oh my God. All right, I'm going to put the microphone here. Where's the microphone? Down here? Okay. All right, here we go. Hopefully we'll hear you now. Go ahead. Oh, speaker. Wait a minute. I can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, here we go.
Shabbat Shalom
Oh, we hear
to everyone.
you.
Can you hear me?
Whoa.
But here the Zoomers can hear perfectly you, okay? We can follow the service, and first of all I would like to thank for the inspired service, Rabbi Emerita Susan, and thank you very much Jordan for the nice melodies. For here I'm in Brazil, it's quarter to midnight, but I'm follow a nice service, and I can see the public, and I can see the Zoomers. I saw Elliot in the middle of the call, and we are preparing a nice Shabbat for the next Friday night. A few words for you. First of all, let me tell you that I'm very excited, and next Tuesday night I'm boarding to America. I have my work visa ready, and everything is ready to be with you. And why I asked Rabbi Susan to speak exactly in this moment, because we are in a few minutes starting with the Amidah, with the Tefillah. And we have something in common. You are in America, in Brazil, but our hearts are looking for the East. And the entire Jewish people is looking to the East during the Amidah, during the Tefillah. And we are really very, very close to the high holidays, and we are in a Shabbat of consolation, and with the Haftarah, with the prophet text. It's a Shabbat of comfort with the text of Isaiah, and we have two important dates to remember. In one hand, when we are talking about consolation, we remember Tisha B'Av, but our generation is remember October the 7th. And next week will be September 11th. That it's an important week, not just for you, American people. It's an important date for every one of us. There are two terror attacks that we remember, but we must have something very, very clear. The attack were not just a game against the Israel people on October 7th. And the attack, it was not just against the American people in September 11. The attacks, the terrorist attack, were against the Occidental civilization. It was against the democracy, the freedom, the respect, the equality between men and women. And the terrorists tried to explore the pain. And we to pray and to build an environment of love. I would like to dedicate these words to the holy memory of Hersh Goldberg Polin, to his family, but I also would like to remember the holy memories of Eden, Carmel, Almond, Alexander, and Ori, the hostages who were killed the last week. I have here something that many, many Jews have around the world, some words that it's not just words, it's a desire, it's a prayer that I invite to say with me. Bring them home now. Let's repeat this. Bring them home now. This is our desire. Together, we will be together to pray, to build community, to enforce our identity, our Judaism, and I ask God to take me with you and to work together for our identity, to build a strong temple, Bethel, a strong community, and to invite all the Jews in California to join us and to build a really very nice community. Thank you very much, Rabbi Suzanne, for support our community all this time. You are very welcome always, and I hope to see you all the next Shabbat to start my path and to start a long way that I hope to walk with you in person. Okay, I saw many nice faces online, but I would like to see everybody in person next Shabbat. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom to you. Okay. I have one of those also. So as Rabbi Gershon said, we are going to move into the tefillah, which is starting on page 273 and 155. And we rise. Adonai sifatai tiftahu fi yagita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim v'Koneh HaKol v'Zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei v'Nehem L'man Shemo be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibur le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rab le'Hoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim U'Matir Asurim U'Mekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot U'Midom Elach Melech Memit U'Mechaye U'Matzmiach Yeshua V'Ne'eman Atah Lo Chahayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yechalelucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please continue silently to page 282 and 164, and you can also use the words of your own heart. And please be seated when you're done or whenever you need to. Shalom Rav is page 282 and 164.
To be flexible and nimble again. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Ram HaYisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Ram HaYisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tol beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol eit ufchol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We take a moment now to think of those in need of healing, whether of body, of mind, or of spirit. We think of family, friends, and congregants: Pamela Mangus, Judy Richmond, Colton Wayne Whitaker, John Cruz, Dan Strauss, Darlene DeMason, Linda Stroman, Eddie Archibek, Tom Stieg, Carrie Bardine, Robin Mendez, Dorothy Odson, Don Oppenheim, Lynn Yarmoff, Marilyn Powell, Leland Bloom, Virginia Pouchot, Kenny Hayes, Nikki Harris, Diane Jacques, Beth Aransky Miller, Dean Young. If you'd like to add a name, please do so as I look around the room. Jane and Claire Gailey, TJ Ludwig, Deb Aubespin, Roberta Gershon, the families of those killed in Georgia, and Refuah Shlema to our members Thomas and Hannah Deason. Of course, we think of those in the war in the Middle East who are suffering so much. Please join us in the Misha Berach, which is on the inside cover of your prayer book. Cantor Bob used to do that when I was reading the prayer, so that's why you're not used to having someone trying to set their guitar.
Hate playing it out of tune. Mishaberach Avoteinu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov. sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mi sheberach avotenu, Mi sheberach imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
So our Torah portion this week is Shoftim, and it places a great emphasis on justice. It includes the famous injunction, Tzedek, Tzedek, Tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue. Now the verb pursue here is very important, and it implies that we must put effort into justice, standing up for others whose rights are being trampled, becoming actively engaged in righteous causes, speaking truth to power. And the double use of the word justice, tzedek, tzedek, implies that we must pursue justice justly. In other words, the means as well as the ends are important. And our Torah portion is not at all vague about the specifics of what a just society should look like. Each branch of the governing authorities, the executive, the judiciary, and the religious, are limited in terms of their responsibilities and their authority. As the Eitz Chaim commentary points out, the Torah lays the ground for public supervision and criticism of human authorities, thus preventing them from gaining absolute domination and prestige. For example, judges must not show partiality to the rich or the poor. They must not take bribes. And it is not only judges who must maintain an ethical judicial system. As a safeguard against dishonest or mistaken testimony, at least 2 witnesses are required to testify in a capital crime case. In addition, the witnesses themselves must be the first ones to mete out the punishment. The Talmud expands on these laws, connecting the falsifying of testimony to an offense against God. 3, the Holy One hates: him who says one thing with his mouth and another in his heart, him who possesses evidence in favor of his neighbor but fails to testify on his behalf, and him who, seeing something improper in his neighbor, acts as a sole witness against him. The Torah portion goes on to state that if the people decide that they wish to have a king, there are certain conditions and qualifications the king must meet. He must be an Israelite. He's not considered to be a god, as was the case in surrounding cultures. He cannot own too many horses, nor too many wives. Well, too many horses means wanting to go to war a lot. So he can't have too many horses, too many wives, or too much wealth, all potential distractions from God's teachings. The only role assigned to him is to write a copy of the Torah, which he is to have by his side at all times. The king is mandated to read the Torah all his life. Thus, he is not above the law, but subject to God's laws. The Torah specifies that the reason he must copy the Torah and read it continuously is to keep him from becoming haughty towards his people and to prevent him from deviating from the law. The 11th century French rabbi, Rashi, offers an interesting commentary on this matter. Rashi notes that the word copy in Hebrew, mishneh, can also mean second, as in Mishnah Torah, which is Maimonides' second Torah. Since the requirement in the Torah is that the king must write a copy of the Torah when he is seated on the throne, Rashi deduces that this is a second copy, the first having been written before the king ascended to the throne. The first copy would have been for the king's personal use. As Rabbi Gary Pokras points out, before the king could rule from the throne, he needed to apply the lessons of the Torah to his personal life. Only then could he write a second copy to define his public office. In other words, we must put our own house in order before we can go on to help rule others. The last section of this week's Torah portion describes the law of an unidentified murder victim lying in the field. In other words, no one knows who this victim is. As Rabbi Menachem Feldman points out, the true test of justice is whether society will care about this crime, whether society values the most vulnerable, lonely, least respected, unknown members of society. So if such an unidentified body is found, the Torah demands that the most prominent members of society come down to the crime scene to investigate. Quote, "Then your elders and judges shall go forth, and they shall measure to the cities around the corpse." As Rabbi Feldman explains, the Torah commands the members of the Supreme Court of Israel to drop everything they are doing, and that they, not their assistants or surrogates, should show up at the crime scene. The Torah understands that the test of justice is not only at your gates. It's not how we treat the most prominent members of society. Rather, the test of justice is whether the elders and judges will leave their ivory tower, leave the city, and search for justice for the unknown stranger. This Torah portion is always read on the first Shabbat of the month of Elul, which is tonight. We just started the month of Elul. Elul is the period of introspection preceding the high holidays. It's a time for reflection, repentance, and taking stock. The Torah portion, Shoftim, certainly offers guidance to help us think about the kind of society we wish to build and the kind of government we wish to establish. Presumably a society built on justice and righteousness, where those who are most vulnerable are cared for, and a government that respects the law without showing favoritism. In this regard, we might want to keep in mind the following excerpt from an op-ed in the Boston Globe from several years ago, but it still is true today. Our justice system has become inaccessible to millions of poor people, and so every day we violate the equal justice under law motto engraved on the front of the Grand United States Supreme Court. Americans who cannot afford legal help routinely forfeit basic rights as a result. Because the law does not enforce itself, veterans seeking benefits the nation is guaranteed, victims of domestic violence needing legal protection, and tenants and homeowners pursuing their rights since the financial disaster all need advisors and guides through the law and its agencies and courts. We can certainly think of many areas in our society where justice falls short, and we might take this period of reflection to think about how we might ameliorate the situation. Shoftim can also be a guide for our inner lives as well. After all, we're supposed to spend this month of Elul taking an inventory of our character traits and our actions. So, in a sense, we're appointing an internal judge to make this determination. And shouldn't this judge be as impartial as a judge sitting on a real bench? We will need to be ruthlessly honest with ourselves, not allowing ourselves to make any excuses for our shortcomings. Now, that doesn't mean we should beat each other up or beat ourselves up, but neither should we shirk our responsibility to ourselves and our community. Shouldn't we follow the example of the King as well, keeping the Torah and its lessons close at hand so that we remember to be humble and not prideful? And should we not care for those who are most vulnerable in our society, ensuring that their most basic rights are protected? This might be a time for us to nurture the quality of compassion within ourselves so that we can care about those strangers in our midst. May the next month be one of expansion and growth as we move towards the days of awe. And may we lie down in peace, because these are tumultuous times, and even though we are looking into ourselves for what we might change, let's remember that whatever is broken is a source of growth. And I'm not going to be doing high holidays here, but I am talking about the Japanese art of taking a broken vase, gluing it together, and putting gold on the broken parts so that you're not trying to hide the brokenness. You're saying, here it is, and it's being honored with the gold. And then, as my favorite prophet, Leonard Cohen, says, it's through the cracks that the light comes in. So Hashkivenu, page 271 and 153. Want to lie down in peace as we contemplate this month of Elul.
Might be in tune, might not. Well, here goes. Not even close.
The temperature in the room affects the...
And I keep putting this capo on, which changes the tuning, and I have to change it every time. I have to tune it each time I put it on. At home, when I put the thing on, it stays in tune. But let's give it another shot. Close enough. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim.
So I'd like to ask if there are any guests here tonight who would like to introduce themselves, if you have not been here before. Oh, okay, great.
Lolita Warner, Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Do you live in Riverside?
I do. I live with my daughter. And my daughter's friend, Sarah, her mom attends here. And so my daughter suggested I come here, and I'm very pleased that I have. And I'm excited to meet the new, sorry, I get nervous in my disability.
I put you on the spot. So.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're welcome. I'm glad
Thank
you came.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay. Any simchas to share? Happy occasions? Anybody? Do you have one? Happy occasion that you want to share with us? Something great that happened this week? No? Aw. Usually the kids have something. Diane has something.
I had my birthday on Wednesday. Thank you. I'm 71 years young. Everybody's going backwards with me.
You look younger than ever. Thank you, baby. Happy birthday. Anybody else? Everyone's pointing to different directions here.
My birthday is Sunday, and I'll be 82.
Wow. You do not look it at all.
Thank God.
Mr. Medina.
Next Friday, my granddaughter Elsa is going to have her bat mitzvah.
Oh, wow. Where? In LA?
In LA.
What synagogue? Do you know? Yeah.
At her school, actually, at her Jewish day school.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to talk?
A short prayer.
Great. Well, actually, today's the 6th, so this is the first Shabbat of the month, and normally it's a family service, and we normally celebrate birthdays, so why don't all the birthday people come up, and we'll do a little Yom Huledet. Huh? It was not provided to me. And anybody who has a birthday or an anniversary in the month of September. Avi, is it you? Do you have a birthday? So you'll just have to do with Yom Huledet Sameach, you know? What can I say? So this is Avi, and your birthday is September 12th, you said? 68. Do you want to tell us how old you're going to be?
Sure, 68.
Oh my God, all these youngsters. Okay. As always, Wendy has set up a beautiful oneg for us. We're very appreciative, especially now that the kitchen is they apparently fixed the stove. Wow. Who knew? I spent 15 years here with the gas wafting out, and nobody was able to fix the stove, and miraculously, they fixed it. Okay, we are going to have a board member, Johanna, come and give us a few announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And thank you, Rabbi Singer and Jordan, for the lovely service this evening. Please join us next Friday, September 13th at 7 p.m. for Shabbat service led by Rabbi Gershon with music by Elliot Levine. And this will be Rabbi Gershon's first service with us, but since he will be fresh from his travels the day before, this will be a soft hello, and we will vigorously welcome him the next week with a special service and program on Friday, September 20th. There will be a dinner provided by Temple Bethel in honor of Rabbi Gershon at 6 p.m., followed by a special service at 7 p.m., led by Rabbi Gershon, and music by Cantor Emeritus Bob Sorotnik and other special guests. We ask that you RSVP for this dinner. An email with more information was sent out for the RSVP is in the email. Religious school will begin on September 15th. If you're interested, please call the office for more information. The gift shop will also be open that morning. High holiday items are available in the gift shop. Tonight's Open Arms Committee representative is David Kroll. And feel free to talk to David after the service and ask any questions you might have about the temple. David, where are you? David is right there. Okay. And the ONEG tonight is sponsored by Max and Susan Tenenbaum. Thank you. Did anybody else have any other announcements? Jason?
Okay, since Rabbi talked about Elul and all of the work that we're supposed to be doing on ourselves, I think it's really appropriate to mention one more time that I have put an announcement in the last 2 weeks in the weekly email that I am trying to start up Musar classes this fall after the high holidays. Thus far, I do not have a lot of responses to the interest form that is linked in there. People keep telling me you really are interested in this, but so far the form does not lie and not that many people have responded yet. So if you are genuinely interested, at least say something to me or fill out my form, and at least I can know how many people we might be talking about and know what days are possible, and so we can try to actually make a schedule. It'll be free for temple members because we're purchasing curriculum, and so that should not be a barrier. And for anyone who's not a member and wants to make a donation, we can figure that part out. But if you have any questions, see me at the ONEG. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. I filled out your form, Jason. Are there any other announcements? No? Okay, well, thank you.
Actually, I have an announcement, and that is that on October 7th, the UCR Hillel is holding a commemorative service at 6:30 at the bell tower. So if you want to join, Mr. Medina will be there, I will be there, many other people. So 6:30 p.m., yeah. 6:30 a.m. I would not have agreed to, okay? In fact, there's a multicultural forum in the city that I would be very happy to go to, but it meets at 7:30 in the morning. I'm not even up at 7:30. Okay, the Aleinu. Let's see. Would you two like to come open the Ark for the Aleinu? And we rise, and it's on the inside cover of the prayer book. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot adama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kehol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malhei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu note shamayim biyoser aretz umoshav yakaro bashamayim imal ushchinatu zo pegav hei meromim hu Eloheinu ein od Emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatu v'torato, v'yadata hayam v'hashevota, elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, bashamayim mimal, ve'al ha'aretz mitachat, Ein od, kakatu v'toratecha, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayam hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, Ushemo echad. Thanks. Please be seated. We now take some time to think about those who are no longer with us. May their memories be for a blessing. We're actually observing Shiva this week for those hostages who were killed. Hirsch Goldberg, Poland, Eden Yerushalmi, Ori Danino, Alex Lubnov, Carmel Gott, and Almog Sarusi. Is anyone here in Shiva Shloshim or the first year of mourning and would like to mention a name? Also Steve Hamlin, Suzanne Garner. And we're observing yard sites for Bob Perlstein, Liz Brandler, Helmut Brandt, Ruth DeKoven, Harriet Eisenberg, Flora Feld, Gerson Ginsberg, Mary Feld, Francis Feldstein, Helen Lewandowski, Ida Miller, John Schließel, Adeline Tenenbaum, Isidore Ziskind, Yona Rubian, Irving Olson, Samuel Sherman, Tilly Menson, Emma Kustner. First year is also Alvin Rock and Carol Rock, and yard site Mardell Taylor. Any other yard sites? And of course, we think of those who perished in the Holocaust and have no one to say the mourner's cottage for them. Please rise and join me on page 598 and 294. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yechutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'zman kariv imru, amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudashah barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say, amen. And because the theme of our Torah portion is justice, Jordan chose, this land is your land, this land is my land. It's on the handout.
Okay. And I just want to also thank Elliot. Thanks for your filling in and all the great harmonies. I appreciate it. Thanks. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed, I rambled, and followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, while all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, a voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said no trespassing, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of a steeple, by the relief office, I'd seen my people as they stood hungry. I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
You know, interestingly enough, many years ago, I did some volunteer work in Ghana, and I taught some little kids. They love this song. They just loved it. Anyway, thank you to Jordan for your beautiful music. Thank you to Noah for the tech support. And we're going to go have an oneg and do the kiddush and the motzi. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Makes it so that Green Bay has to score a touchdown. Field goal won't.
Boo. Low, low. Low. Low, low.
Hello?
Low, low.
Noah,
low,
can you hear me?
Low, low. Low, low.
Noah, can you hear me?
Low, low.
Noah? Can you hear me, Noah?
Can you hear me on Zoom?
Noah? Did you turn everything off already?
Jory, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me over
I see
Zoom?
that you're talking, but we're not getting any audio out of the speakers. In fact, I think there's no audio, period. I was messing with it just now. I turned it
in the
off.
closet.
I turned off Rabbi's monitor, and we're getting no sound in the house. But I haven't turned anything else off. I'm also not able to hear you right now.
What's that? So you can't hear me? Hello?
Oh. Okay. I can tell that the sound's going to Zoom, but...
Yeah, but it's not coming out of the speakers. Hello?
Barkley up the middle. Barkley puts his winning to the one. Oh, Barkley. My God, that is it time for another push here? Try to get Barkley touchdown of the day. Whatever you do, you let the play clock go down. In fact, the Eagles might even let it go all the way down to the boundary. That's exactly what we'll do. So Soriano will take the timeout. One play. Let's see what y'all want to do. Saquon Barkley with all the run game. And this was the spot. 3 years, 30 seconds, for $75 million. He had, as he said, nothing to play. Sat down with the family. He talked it all through. He did. He said, it's no brainer. This was the easy choice. Well, arguably the best offensive line that he has run behind in his but I think he is a better version of both. He's more powerful. He's still got the breakaway, disability. able to lean on him here in the fourth quarter in a big way. Like that. Looks like Coach Coach will be on 30 goals. Hurts. Oh, the snap and Foley gets the jump on it. And Foley shoots center kick. See Jalen shaking his head. I mean, it's not a given. Wow, that looked like a decent snap, but Jalen just not able to get it. Luckily, the ball's on. And there goes